Hey guys, Dr. Mike Duce, MTFU Longevity, still here with Mark Plano, my master trainer here, the guy who's the clinician when it comes to all things knee in this particular day. You know, I've talked about leg extensions. I did them for many, many years. I don't have Tom Platt's legs. You know, I'm happy with my legs, particularly a little more so when I was younger. But in any event, I've said with you know, I do have knee problems, but this is my quote good side. You do a knee extension, I'd always lock, okay, and then I'd come down. I think what I've done with my knee, underneath the kneecap, I've given myself a pretty good case of chondromalacia patella, translated as being knee degeneration. I can feel some cracking, some crunching, not a lot of pain, but again, it's no longer the healthiest of joints, so if I continue on, something's going to happen. That's number one. Number two, the other thing that bothers me about this movement is, you know, we have the contractile phase, which is the frontal muscles of the quadriceps, but we really have nothing going on in the antagonistic, the hamstrings coming down. And then finally, as Mark is going to elucidate for us, the issue of the calf and how it doesn't really assist as it would in other movements, and it doesn't in this movement. So again, I'm not saying this, that you throw this in the trash. For me, it's probably not something that I do anymore. You get some guys who get a little fancy. You know, they'll turn their leg out, they'll turn their leg in, they'll just go straight up and down to theoretically hit all the different heads of the quadriceps. Use Mark's word, it might be a little wonky on the knee joint itself. So always protect your joints and work the muscle. Mark, what do you say about this?
You know, I think that there's not a lot of exercises that work terminal knee extension. So in that regard, I think, you know, using a knee extension properly, you know, is definitely going to have some benefit. What the problem is that people just use too much weight and they launch things, which can create a lot of problems. Typically, where people are going to injure themselves are at the extremes of the range of motion. So when things are, you know, when you're in this fully extended phase here, or this fully flexed phase here, and when you see people launching things and they're coming down to the bottom of the range where the knee's kind of vulnerable here, and they're kind of, you know, using, you know, the speed component, the joint is being pushed back. I think that's going to be, you know, a problem over time. So I think that if people were to use about a 6-second rep, where they're doing a, you know, kind of a 3-second concentric, and they're squeezing here, and they're really resisting the heck out of the negative, and they're making this quad work, I think it's going to be much safer. What happens also when people start to fatigue too is they start to, you know, this knee starts to roll out a little bit, and that also can cause a little bit of rotation and torque of the knee, and that's going to cause problems also. So I don't think that, you know, knee extensions are inherently bad. I just think that it's just like anything. When you do them without, you know, with you know, too much weight and there's no focus, I think that that's where you're going to increase your chance of injury. You'll also, you know, you don't have the calf to assist the knee here. So when you're doing a squat or a leg press or something like that, the calf can help stabilize the knee. Obviously, with something like a knee extension, the calf is not as active, so you don't have that extra stability for the knee joint. So I think, again, control is you know, you have to own that movement, and if you don't, there's risk just like anything else.
My takeaway is no momentum, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I see that momentum. I see guys. Believe me, I see this, but I've done everything wrong over the years, and hopefully I do things right. For me at this point, I'm always learning, and next year I might be doing things a little different, as long as I'm still progressing. But I've seen people help others, and they bring it up so stridently, the weight almost comes off the leg, right, and then they push down really, really hard. And I think ultimately you're overriding what your body can do, and somebody's basically doing it for you, and plus the other elements of momentum and the lack of full contraction and stretch, and that all equals potentially bad result. But you know, leg extensions, I guess they have their place. Just
like anything else.
Yeah, I don't feel it when I do them. I'm kind of you know, no more squats, no more lunges, no more leg extensions. For me, but there's other things I can do. And again, the sarcopenia that we talk about, sometimes a natural attrition of muscle from the body, which starts at about the age of 35, and then it particularly strikes the lower body. I mean, once you lose, and I'm sure you'll agree, the big base of power is the glutes, the hips, and the thigh muscles. You lose that, you're losing a lot of power, you're losing a lot of, you know, secondary bone health, and it's hard to get that back, especially when you're losing 1% testosterone every year, 1.5% of your strength every year after the age of 40, so you're fighting all those factors. So sarcopenia itself, we don't really know why that occurs, but there's ways to fight that and at least stabilize and kind of tread water where you are, you know.
Absolutely.
With the muscle. But in any event, you know, try to take some of these rules, use prudence, and do what's best for you. Don't feel it in the joint, feel it in the muscle. And that's it today, and I want to thank Mark Plano. We'll be back. And Dr. Mike Dusa, MTFU Longevity, and I'll talk to you very soon. Thank you.
Thank you.